The Algoma Public Library Board of Trustees met on March 21st. Programming continues both in person and with kits. Some upcoming highlights include the following. During National Library Week, April 4th through April 9, we want to help individuals get their account back in order. Bring non-perishable food items to donate to the local food pantry, and we will take $1 off your overdue fines for each item you bring in. All items will be donated to the Kewaunee County Food Pantry. The library will be hosting an escape room titled Cracking the Dewey Code on Monday, April 4th at 3 or 4 p.m. Contact us to sign up for a spot. Monday, April 5th at 3 p.m. we'll have the Xbox out after school and we'll be playing Minecraft. Wednesday, April 6th, there will be a yarn birdcraft kit available. Wednesday, April 6th at 3 p.m. join us for our Maker Wednesday program featuring STEAM activities. April is National Poetry Month, so on Thursday, April 7th, stop by to pick up a Blackout Poetry Kit. This kit is open to all ages. Monday, April 11th, stop by to pick up our chocolate mocktail kits for adults. Tuesday, April 12th, we'll have an Easter wreath kit available for children available to pick up. Our annual Easter egg hunt is back. Stop in on Friday, April 15th from 1 to 2 p.m. to hunt for Easter eggs in the library. Once you find your eggs, play some games and make some fun Easter crafts. Thursday, April 14th is National Gardening Day. On this day, we will have a herb garden kit available. More information about these programs and more can be found on our Facebook or website. Our next board meeting will be held on April 18th at 4 p.m.
Hello, I'm Matt Murphy, the Director of Public Works for the City of Algoma, and a couple things in the month of March and coming into the month of April that are going on for the City of Algoma. First off, the Algoma Marina boat launch, one boat launch was currently put in around the 15th of March for people to start brown fishing. The inner harbor is open and clear of ice. Not saying it's going to be tomorrow yet, but as of now it's open, clear of ice. Boats have been launching. We're hoping to, in the next week here, start to put in A and B dock back in the water for the season, and our contracts have, I think we're about 90% back, and looking to get started into the 2022 boating season, weather permitting. So we've been out cold patching. It's a non-stop practice here in the city. We're trying to cover the potholes the best that we can coming out of winter. There's some more snow coming up into the forecast here Thursday into Friday, but we'll keep an eye on that and continue to work forward. We did cut down approximately 12 city street trees. Most of those trees that were harvested throughout the city were trees that were damaged from storm damage this last year into the summer months of 2021. Those trees, along with the Algoma utilities, have been limbed down below the power lines, and by the end of this week should be completely removed. We will, with our stump grinder, start to remove those stumps off the tree lawn and put black ground in place and plant grass back in those. As that kind of continues, there is a lot of trimming to do citywide that we will continue to be out trimming city street trees here and try to get ahead of that a little bit that needs to be done. All of the plows are still on the trucks up till about April 15th. We'll start to evaluate breaking down the trucks and really kind of jumping into summer gear, getting ready for the summer months. We do have a lot of road work, like I've mentioned last month, the 3rd Street project, and some seal coating that'll be done on a couple of roads, approximately $80,000 to $100,000 worth of seal coating, and then approximately $40,000 worth of concrete sidewalks. That are a couple big projects that will be coming down the pipeline here as we move into the 2022 summer season. So those are a couple of the highlights. End of March, moving into April, a lot of it is weather permitting. But if you do have an issue with a tree that needs to be addressed, please call the street shop, or the same thing with sidewalks. The streets, there's a lot of concern with some of our failing streets, and right now the frost is in the ground, but coming out of the ground, there's a lot of movement in the roads. There's pavement that we know that needs to be addressed, and from plowing throughout the season that needs to be cleaned up. So that was a lot of what came out of our Public Works meeting. Our next meeting will be April 19th at 8:30 a.m. down here at City Hall in the city of Algoma for anybody that would like to attend to discuss any of that matters. So our Parks Department met the 21st of March here, and a couple of things that we talked about, some issues that we're working through is how we're going to address the youth club really slows down in summer. So there's a topic out there of, as far as Fridays and Saturdays, of how we're going to address the club. That'll be back on the agenda for April's meeting. And really the big topic, or the big concern is working with, we now have 3 applications interviewing for the parks manager position and how that is going to work. I have one more interview to conduct, and then hopefully we will have a decision here coming into the April Finance and Personnel meeting with a recommendation for the mayor and full council. So we'll continue to keep you updated on that, but the second week of May, we're hoping to have somebody on board here and really start to take this position over in the parks, and how that is all going to work out. Looking forward to moving into that position, or having somebody move into that position, and how that's going to work. So that is all I have for the Parks Department. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Randy Remicker, the Chief of Police for the City of Algoma, here to give the report for the Police Department for the month of March 2022. In personnel issues, Officer Ron Seidel will retire effective May 1st, and part-time officer Tanner Carmen from the City of Luxembourg has agreed to come aboard as a full-time officer with us. Ron, you will be missed. Tanner, welcome aboard. In other news and personnel, we are currently doing background checks on 2 part-time personnel to be hopefully starting at roughly the time frame of May of 22. In other news, in our code enforcement, the winter parking ends today, Wednesday, March 30th, 2022. Statistical data for the past month. For the month of February, we had 121 calls of service compared to last year with 103. And for year to date, we had 255 compared to last year at this time when we had 207. Thank you and take care.
Hi, I'm Chief Tom Ackerman from the Algoma Fire Department and Rescue Squad, and these are the meeting notes from the Protection of Persons and Property meeting held on March 28th of 2022. Algoma Fire responded to 6 calls during the month of March, which puts us at 16 calls year to date, and Algoma Rescue has responded to 47 calls during the month, which puts them at 126 calls year to date. And Algoma Rescue is on a record pace to surpass last year's number of calls. Probationary members Matt O'Hearn and Riley Melville have completed their 60-hour entry-level firefighter training at NWTC and are good to go with all activities for the fire department. Lieutenant Casey Gressel has successfully completed the 42-hour Firefighter 2 certification program. Department members have toured several local businesses during our winter training nights. We typically visit businesses around the community so that our members stay current with any changes that are going on with any of the industries or local businesses within our service district. Department members have participated in our annual ice and cold water rescue training, which was held on March 5th. Through this, we had the opportunity to put on our cold water survival suits and practice our rescue training in the ice and cold water conditions. The chassis for the new ambulance has been delivered to the manufacturer, and we're hoping that they can begin production very soon. 2 public meetings were held with regards to the new public safety building, which will be going on referendum in the April election. These meetings were held at the Algoma Elementary School auditorium, and were pretty well attended, and it was nice to see the people come out and have a lot of good questions of our personnel that are working on this very important referendum. If anyone has any questions about this proposed project or would like to schedule a visit at our current fire station, please reach out to me. My phone number is 920-255-3671, or my email address is afdchief@algomacity.org. And if I get a request, we'll make arrangements to have you come in for a visit. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Erin Miller, the clerk for the City of Algoma. I am going to go over the meeting minutes from the council meeting, the finance and personnel meeting, and the special common council meeting. The first meeting held was the council meeting on Tuesday, March 1st. After calling the meeting to order, they got right in and went into closed session. Results of the closed session were to allow the city administrator position to be posted, and the advertised salary range was set. That posting can be found on the city's website along with various other places. After that, they got into old business. A resolution was passed, Resolution 1105-2022 for the Park and Recreation fee schedule. Fees were added and slightly increased for the Parks and Recreation Department. A full copy of that resolution and the fee schedule can be found on the city's website, or you can call in and ask us to supply a copy of it for you. Resolution 1109-2022, a resolution to purchase a new police squad, was tabled to July. Resolution 1110-2022 for a leaf vac purchase was passed. Resolution 111-2022 for the sewer credit application policy was also passed. It amended the sewer credit application policy, now requiring a licensed plumber's signature on the application form. A copy of that resolution, along with the sewer credit application, can be found on the city's website. You can also call us or stop in and we can supply it for you. Resolution 11112-2022 3rd Street Improvement Project was passed, adopting the resolution to accept bids and award a contract for the 2022 utility and street reconstruction project. 6 qualified bidders returned their bids, and the project is now awarded to Peters Concrete. This project will take place on 3rd Street from Navarino Street to Clark Street and portions of Navarino Street and Clark Street. There was the consideration of the offers to purchase for the Algoma Long-Term Care Unit/Medical Center. As discussed earlier, the council went into closed session earlier in this meeting and discussed these offers to purchase. After discussion amongst the aldermen, it was decided that the city would sell the Algoma Long-Term Care Unit to buyer number 1. Buyer number 1 is Cadenza Healthcare. The next topic of discussion was the Algoma Police Department officer vacancies and recruitment eligibility list. Chief Remiker was going to begin conducting interviews to replace the police officers that have either left to new opportunities or will be retiring at a later date. He will be building this eligibility list with 9 applications having been received back. The next topic was promotion consideration of Officer Ann Banky from part-time to full-time employment status. Chief Remiker requested the change of the status of Officer Ann Banky from part-time to full-time status. She is currently a part-time officer for the City of Algoma and making this transition smooth. The council discussed, and it was moved and motioned that Officer Ann Banky would now be a full-time police officer for the City of Algoma. You will be meeting Ann at the April council meeting. The administrator gave his final report for the City of Algoma. His last day with us is March 31st. He discussed redevelopment area number 2 and the project update and where we were at, which we had spoke on earlier about the relocation plan. He gave an update on the public safety building. The city held 2 informational meetings, one on February 23rd and the other was held on March 16th. If there are any questions about anything at these meetings or any questions about the referendum in general, you are encouraged to call City Hall or get in touch with the Chief of Police, Randy Remiker, or the Fire Chief, Tom Ackerman. Just a reminder that the spring election will be held on Tuesday, April 5th, 2022. The polls are open from 7 a.m. until 8 p.m. The mayor then thanked, on behalf of the City Council, the city, and himself, Administrator Hain for the 2 years of service that he had with the City of Algoma. He brought many good things to the city and has kept us moving forward. The next meeting will be Monday, April 4th at 6 o'clock p.m. here at City Hall. The Finance and Personnel Committee met on Tuesday, March 15th at 4:30. Their topics of discussion were the 2022 through 2026 capital improvement plan. Treasurer Amber Shallow went over the plan with the council. After reviewing it, it will be passed on to council for final adoption. They also discussed the cemetery land exchange. Administrator Hayden gave an update on the land exchange. Currently, our legal team is reviewing the documents. A resolution will be coming to the April City Council meeting for the exchange of the pieces of land. Chief Randy Remiker requested to hire 3 new officers, one of them being a switch from part-time to full-time. That'll be Tanner Carmen. He'll be full-time for the city of Algoma, effective May 1st, with Officer Ron Seidel's retirement. The next 2 are part-time officers, Logan Hippis and Kaylin Schleiss. Both are currently in school due to graduate on May 21st, making their first day with the city May 22nd, 2022. The next topic was the relocation plan for RDA number 2. Peter Meisbauer, a consultant for the city of Algoma, prepared the relocation plan for redevelopment area number 2. He went over the relocation plan with the committee. Just to touch on the process, once the committee recommends the adoption to council, the council adopts it, it can be sent to the state for approval. Once received at the state, they have 30 days to approve the plan. Once approved, negotiations with the owners can begin, as can the relocation assistance process. The next meeting of the Finance and Personnel Committee will be on Tuesday, April 19th, 2022 at 4:30 p.m. After the Finance and Personnel Committee, a special Common Council meeting was held. The meeting was called to order at 5:15. The new business was adoption of the relocation plan for RDA number 2, passed via a resolution, and the recommendation from the Chief of Police to hire new police officers. Again, Officer Tanner Carmen, who is currently a part-time police officer for the city of Algoma, will go from part-time to full-time effective May 1st. And there will have the conditional hiring of 2 part-time officers, Logan Hippis and Kaylin Schleiss, pending their graduations. The next meeting date for the full council is Monday, April 4th, 2022 at 6:00 p.m.
Hi, I'm Amber Shallow. I'm the city treasurer, and I'm giving the report for the cable committee for this month. The cable committee met on Wednesday, March 9th, and they discussed the videotaping of finance and personnel committee meetings to be aired on our YouTube channel and the local community access cable channel. There is some work that needs to be done before that can happen, so staff is going to research the possibility if it can take place with just one person back in the recording booth. And if it is determined that we can make this work, then we're going to take it to the Finance and Personnel Committee for a final decision. Under new business, we discussed the 2022 annual Wisconsin Community Media's Conference. It was decided that Al and Amber will attend the conference. And then we also discussed the possibility of the 2 committee members from council attending that same conference, as there is a lot of important legislative matters that are discussed. Both council members who are on the committee, Leah Piarkey and Casey Boer, expressed an interest in attending, so that will be put before council for a final decision on whether or not they can attend. We also discussed the future recording of candidate forums for important local races. Right now, the committee cable department does not hold candidate forums, but there was an interest in it, and so we're going to start planning for future candidate forums. For future agenda items, we will be discussing and developing a job description for the recording and editing positions. These are volunteer positions that have a small stipend attached to them, and we are in dire need of some personnel to help out with recording of meetings and other events happening around town. So we're going to develop a job description so that we can discuss with the local school districts and get it posted to see if we can get some volunteers. Our next meeting will be held on May 11th, 2022 here at City Hall at 5:30 p.m.